10 healthy habits that support sustainable fat loss after 40. Today, we're going to talk about something that is incredibly powerful when it comes to fat loss, but it often gets overlooked, and that is our daily habits, what we do each day. This isn't about extreme diets or extreme sudden bursts of motivation when you're feeling really good one day or 1 week, and it's not about doing everything perfectly for a few days and then falling off. But it's about the small behaviors that are repeated consistently over time. Because lasting fat loss is rarely the result of one big decision. It's the result of a collection of simple, repeatable habits that support your body and your lifestyle that you repeat day after day. It's about becoming into alignment with the version of you that you want to be. And this is where so many women get stuck. They feel like they're either on or they're off. They're in a good mode and they're going well, or everything's not going to plan. They're either doing everything right or everything's fallen apart. And then they respond and react based on this. But actual real transformation doesn't live in these extremes. It lives in what you do most of the time, the quiet, in-between, boring moments. When the right habits are in place, fat loss becomes far more manageable and more sustainable for your body. It feels calmer for you, it's more structured, and your results and what's going to happen day to day becomes more predictable. When these habits are missing, it can start to feel like you're constantly starting over, stuck on that cycle again. So today I want to walk through with you 10 healthy habits that are going to support your fat loss consistently, especially valuable for women over 40. Now, as we go through these, I don't want you thinking, I need to do all of them. I need to execute, put them all in place all at once, and they all need to be done perfectly starting tomorrow. That's exactly defeating the point of what I'm trying to explain and the point that I want you to understand. Instead, I want you to listen and reflect, become more aware of what it is your body is actually responding to, how it is actually making improvements, and then say to yourself, ask yourself, what's one thing that I can actually improve, or one habit that you can tighten coming this week? Because these small shifts, when they're done consistently, they create real lasting results. And the more that you do it consistently and over time, it becomes less of a practice that you have to put in place and more of just a new habit, but this time a good habit. So the first one that I want to talk about is prioritizing really good quality sleep. Sleep is one of the most underrated factors when it comes to fat loss, and yet it affects almost everything. When your sleep is poor, your hunger hormones increase, your cravings increase, your energy drops, your patience drops, your decision-making process becomes weaker, and all because your stress has increased. So it's not just about feeling tired because you haven't had enough sleep. It's about the actual physiology of how your body is functioning. It's that your body and your brain are now working against you when your sleep is inadequate, when you're not sleeping well enough. When you're in this state, you're more likely to reach for a quick energy drink, or you're more likely to snack, or you're less likely to train. The choices that you'll make are not going to be so aligned with the results that you want. But when we get good sleep, it supports our recovery, our hormone balance, our metabolism, and overall function. So rather than seeing sleep as optional or it's not an important part of the picture, I want you to start seeing sleep as part of your fat loss strategy. It's going to have such a big overall shift in how you're feeling, not just in your fat loss as well. I don't want it to be something that's extra. I want it to be seen as essential. The second habit I want to talk about is hydration. This one also sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Hydration affects our energy, it affects our digestion, it affects your performance day to day, and it even affects your hunger signals. Many women move through the day slightly dehydrated and they don't actually realize it. It completely changes the physiology of your body and it alters the balance of your cells. What then happens is this: you start to feel flat. You feel like you're running on low energy. You feel like you want something. Your body and mind then interprets that as hunger. So you reach out for a snack, for an additional meal, for something that is going to give you a boost to pick you up. But actually what the body's needing is water. It's dehydrated. So when we're building a habit of consistently staying hydrated and drinking throughout the day, it's one of the easiest ways to support your body. When your body is feeling calm and it's feeling supported and all the systems are running correctly, it wants to work for you. Becoming hydrated and staying hydrated is simple, but it works. Habit number 3, daily movement. Not just exercise, but daily incidental movement. This is where many women misunderstand fat loss. They think it's only about workouts, and the harder the workout, the better the results. But your body is constantly responding to what you're doing, your total daily movement. So the more active you are throughout the day, it's having an overall effect on the body. It's not just looking at the 45-minute HIIT cardio session that you do. It's also looking at what's happening in the other 23 hours of the day. So we're looking at things like walking, using the stairs instead of the elevator, moving around, staying active, just essentially not staying or being sedentary all day long. So if you're at a desk job, get up, move around, come back, include mobility, stretching, that sort of thing. So when we're doing this, it's keeping our metabolism active and it's keeping our body functioning well throughout the day. Of course, yes, our training matters. We are going to implement that. But your lifestyle movement matters just as much. And this is another one of those daily habits that we can bring into play that's going to bring our body back into alignment and give us even better results. Habit number 4 is our actual strength training. It's one of the most powerful habits that you can put in place, that you can build and build on each week and build on as you go along. As we move through our 40s and beyond, maintaining muscle becomes really critical. It becomes harder for the body and it has a direct link to your metabolism. So building muscle and going to the gym and strength training is not just about how your body looks. It actually affects so many mechanisms and systems within your body. Metabolism, we've already mentioned. Strength, of course, it's going to increase your strength as you go along with your training. Bone density is going to improve and increase as well. It's going to improve your injury prevention, so less chance of becoming injured, and long-term independence. It has a huge benefit and effect on your confidence levels as well. Strength training is going to help to build your body that is capable. It's going to build your body that's strong, that's resilient, that's reliant, and it's going to completely transform your mind and how you feel about yourself as well. It's going to change the way that your body responds to fat loss. So this training, strength training, fat loss, is not about becoming smaller. It's about becoming stronger and becoming more defined. And that's what's going to happen when we bring resistance and strength training into our training program as well as the cardio. Habit number 5, and that's including protein and prioritizing protein in our meals. It's one of the most important nutrients when it comes to fat loss. It's supporting your muscle. It's supporting your recovery. And it's supporting your satiety, so how you're feeling, how full. It helps you feel more full as you're eating. It helps you feel stable. It helps you feel energized. When protein is too low, our hunger increases. Along with that comes our cravings. Our cravings increase as well, and our energy becomes unstable. Again, as we're losing muscle beyond 40, it becomes even more important to make sure that we are including an adequate amount of protein in our meals. So instead of thinking about food as restriction, I want you to start thinking about it as fuel. You're feeding your body. You don't need to withhold or restrict your food. Each meal is an opportunity to support your body once again. And as we're always talking about, the more supported, the calmer, the more imbalanced that your nervous system feels, the more it's going to want to respond well for you. Building your meals around your protein source is going to be one of the simplest ways to actually improve your nutrition overall as well. So we want to remember that. Habit number 6, still on the topic of nutrition, and that is structuring our grazing. A big one. This was a really big one. As we go throughout the day, constant grazing, picking at food, snacking, it all adds up. And often we don't even realize we're doing it. It becomes unconscious habits. We don't plan it quite often. The snacking, the grazing, the adding a little bit extra, nibbling as we're cooking and making food. It's not intentional. It just happens throughout the day. The structured meals that we plan, they create awareness. But when we have no plan and no structure and no accountability, the snacking and the grazing becomes out of control. Having structure, not restriction, but structure, creates boundaries there. It allows your body to actually experience hunger and fullness properly without going to those extreme lengths of being too full or being too hungry, but you learn that what your body actually needs. So we're not talking rigid, strict, restricted dieting. We're talking intentional eating, planned and structured. We want to be eating with awareness, not constantly reacting to how we're feeling with no plan whatsoever. Habit number 6 I want to talk about here is managing stress. Stress is one of the biggest hidden factors in fat loss. So many women are living in a constant state of stress. And when your body is feeling like that, when it is constantly stressed, there are many things that become impacted at the same time. Our sleep is impacted, our hunger increases, our recovery is reduced, and our energy drops. Our ability to function and control our mindset completely goes out of the window, and the overall result of all of these is that fat loss becomes much harder. And it's not because you're actually doing anything wrong at all. It's because your body is being put in a constant state of pressure. It's under fight or flight. Your cortisol levels have gone up. Your nervous system is on high alert. So managing stress is not a luxury. It's part of the process, and it becomes so much more important from 40s, 50s and beyond. We have a different life now. Things function differently in our mindset and around us. Doing this can be simple. We can look at just taking time out. We can go for a walk outside. We can have some quiet time, some breath work, some form of switching off from the constant stimulation that you've got in life, whether it's technology or people or the rushing around. You want to give your body moments to rest and reset. This is so important. Habit number 8, mindful eating. Most people get distracted, scrolling or texting or operating on their phones at the same time as eating, nearly always having the TV on at night at the same time as eating, rushing around, sometimes not even sitting down whilst they're eating, thinking about the next thing that they're going to do, maybe even driving when they're eating. When you eat like that, your body doesn't fully register the experience. It's not completely focused on the digestion process. So it's easy to overeat. We're not giving our body the ability to completely come into the focus that it needs to have a healthy level of digestion. Mindful eating doesn't mean slow, perfect meals every time. It simply means being present enough to notice, am I actually hungry? Have I got my portion sizes right? Am I satisfied? Am I satiated after this amount of eating? Am I eating with awareness? It's bringing our stress levels down as well at the same time, the way we were designed to eat. This alone can shift your relationship with food significantly. Habit number 9, planning ahead. Fat loss becomes much easier when decisions are made in advance, when we plan what may occur in our day, where we know what we might be doing. When everything is decided in the moment, your decisions that you're making are reactive and they're emotional. They're based on stress, they're based on time pressure, they're based on your energy levels, they're based on your moods, they're based on how you're feeling in that moment. But planning ahead removes that pressure. We become in control and accountable for what we are doing. You already know what you're going to be doing, what you want to be doing. You can plan this. You just want to reduce that decision fatigue that occurs in the moment when we have no structure, no alignment, no planning to our day. When we do this, consistency becomes so much easier. Even small planning makes such a huge difference to our day and to the overall results that we get. Habit number 10, self-compassion. This is one of the most important habits of all, because no journey is perfect. There will be days where things just don't go to plan, where you're not feeling great. Maybe you did have everything planned out perfectly. You'd set everything in line and something just shifted and knocked you off that. There'll be weeks that feel harder than normal. But the difference in the results that you get is how you respond to these peaks and troughs, to the journey, the weaves of life. Most people, most ladies especially, fall into an all or nothing cycle. So if something goes wrong, they see it as having ruined everything and they give up. But women who succeed long term, they don't do that. They just simply adjust. They duck and weave to the movements of the unexpected shifts and changes in circumstances. They learn from mistakes, from things that could have been changed or organized slightly differently. Most importantly, they make an adjustment and then they continue on. Self-compassion is what allows consistency to continue. We're not looking for perfection, so we don't need to criticize ourselves if we didn't do it perfectly. What we're looking for is consistent chipping away bit by bit and creating over time a constant new behaviors. So when you're looking at putting all of these habits together, something becomes very clear. None of them are extreme. They're not the behaviors and the patterns that you think you have to put in place to achieve such a huge body, health, mind transformation. None of them require that you completely overhaul your life overnight, but when they're put together, they create a lifestyle that supports fat loss naturally. All of these habits are so easy to implement, and they create structure around how you're functioning. They create stability, they create calm, they create momentum. As you put them in place, you will find it's so much easier to execute, to implement, to put everything in place that you want, and you will start seeing your habits play out daily, weekly, and more consistently. And most importantly, they create a version of you who is that girl who follows through, who is the lady who is consistent. Because at the end of the day, fat loss is not about doing everything perfectly. And it's not about one big dramatic change or shift you made in one day. It's about becoming the type of lady who repeats her habits, the right behaviors consistently over time. So instead of asking, what is the perfect plan for me? Start asking, what habits can I strengthen this week? Because when your habits are right, the results will follow.